everyone, Mike here from Binya Outdoors. No, you are not seeing things. I'm actually putting this audio in after the fact. I recorded an intro on the water, but the wind was completely washing out any sound that I had, anything I was saying, you just could not hear. So for this episode, what we're going to do today, the plan is to go out and try to troll for trout. It's a little bit different than what I usually do, but for those of you who follow me and know that I do the Jigs and Bigs multi-species tournament, well, I'm really close to being in a paying spot in the tournament. So I'm working my way up to 5th and 6th place, and to do that, I need to have a trout, a crappie, a bullhead. Those are the main species that I know how to catch and that are going to be the ones that are going to get me up into the money spots. So I decided to go out to this body of water that I know pretty well for bass, and I know that there's also trout here. So the goal is to actually go troll around for a while, catch a trout, and then switch gears and get into bass fishing for the rest of the day. So I'm going to go back to the video now and let you guys watch the rest of it. I just wanted to give you a proper intro.
3 hours later.
Nice bass. Fat guy, but not super long. That's what I love about this place is it's just loaded with bass like this. It's just a lot of fun to fish here. Every one of these fish I've been catching so far is just on a Harmony weedless wacky rig, throwing a June bug worm, fishing up against woods. So if you guys don't know about finding specific areas of fish, one thing that I always start with if I don't know where the fish are is I find down trees, I find shoreline, a rock, something close to the shoreline, start casting there, and then you work your way out deeper. So if you don't find the fish in shallow, then what I do personally is I go about 30 yards deeper than the cover that I'm fishing. So for example, if there's a tree right here, I will go 30 yards deeper into the water, because a lot of the times they may not actually be relating to that cover, but they may be out deeper hunting or trying to locate some food, and then they go back to that cover after they've eaten. So sometimes you can actually catch fish a little bit deeper than the cover. Today that's not the case. I think they're all up shallow. The water temp is about 60, so I'm hoping that they're going to put the feed bag on. The wind was just so intense that I stopped doing the trolling thing. I will admit it was a failed adventure. I may go back to it later if the wind does continue to stay down, but it was just getting to the point where I was constantly having to work my butt off to even keep the mile an hour, well, 1.5 to 2 mile an hour speed. But so we're going to catch some bass for a little bit, and then maybe we'll go back to the trout deal. Little largemouth. Little largemouth on a Ned rig. Switch things up because I'm thinking maybe the Ned rig might help me try to get into some trout, but so far just managed to find a little aggressive largemouth, but that's okay. Still a pretty good day so far. I've caught quite a few bass. I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 at this point, and I'm just going to kind of keep playing around with different baits. That's one thing that I can highly recommend. If you fish a place where you're just constantly catching little bass, it's not a bad idea to play around with baits that you're not super comfortable with. Baits that you don't always fish, or ones that you don't know the technique for. Because if you know the fish are biting, you now have a playground where you can practice techniques to see if you can get those fish to bite with something that you don't normally use. It's something that I do a lot because it helps me to learn, helps me build confidence in baits that I don't have confidence in normally. And ultimately, it's just a great way to improve your skill set and catch a bunch of fish. Interesting. I don't even know. Another largemouth. Come on, man. You done? You done? Come here, man. Another largemouth on the Ned rig. Gave him right through the nose, too. Look at the chunk on this bass, guys. Just a little guy, but a lot of spunk in him. Caught another one on the Ned rig. Gonna keep at it, see if I can luck into some trout, but I'll take all the bass I can get as well. It's becoming a numbers day. Definitely not a quality, but definitely quantity. And I'm trying out some different Ned baits that I've been kind of curious if they would work. So it's kind of, again, like I was saying earlier, it is a great opportunity to test things out to see if they work. Check this out, guys. Rainbow trout. Trolling. Finally accomplished the goal that I came here originally for. I am so excited about this catch, guys.
Alright guys, as is with the intro, I'm going to have to voice over the outro. It was a really great day on the water. I had a ton of fun. I caught my first rainbow trout in my kayak. That was actually caught trolling a jerkbait. So this is a tactic that I've used to catch lake trout and other species. I switched things up at the end of the day. I decided to just basically troll my way out. So I was on the opposite side of the body of water, and I decided I'm just going to throw out two jerk baits, one on each side. I'm going to pedal about 1.8 miles an hour was the exact speed, and I just kind of worked my way along the shoreline. This video that you're watching right here was actually just before I caught that fish. I actually called my wife to tell her that I was coming home, that I was done for the day, and as is, it seems to always work out this way. I hooked into that rainbow right before I was just about to pick up and call it a day. Now that rainbow measured up at 15 inches, but the more significant detail is that it moved me into a tie, three-way tie for fourth place. I do have a little bit more work to do in order to get my final results in the jigs and bigs, because I'm absolutely sure people are going to catch fish throughout the week. So come this next weekend, I'm going to have a little bit of a challenge to try to keep my place. But as of right now, I'm currently in the money for the tournament. So if you guys are curious on how that all shakes out, you're going to have to watch my next series of videos, because the next 3 times I fish are the last opportunities for the May 2023 tournament, and I'm going to have to do everything I can to either upsize my current fish or add some of those other species. So I still have crappie, catfish, and walleye to catch. Carp is on there, but I highly doubt I'm going to be able to catch a carp in 3 days, not really knowing how to do so. I want to thank you guys for coming along with me. I thank you for bearing with the audio issues. If you notice, the cameras do look a little bit different. These are different cameras. I've had issues with the GoPros, and I've changed things up. I am working on getting some of the kinks worked out with how sensitive they are to the wind. Again, I want to thank you guys for coming along with me. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and as always, let's get out there, catch more fish.